Thank you very much. And isn't it kind of suspicious to you? Shadow's very good on this map. Hanamura being obviously Genji's map, right?
You watch that cinematic just over and over.
Exactly.
That's how he goes to sleep at night. He puts it on a loop.
Something's
and just
rather
goes to
suspicious
bed.
it's
like people have whale noise CDs. He just has for Dragon cinematic.
Just going over and over and over again. I'm sure that'll get dull pretty quickly. I'm not going to lie. Tell you what doesn't get dull. Overwatch.
Absolutely.
Funnily enough, we're playing it. Well, we're not playing it. We're casting it.
We're looking at it. And we're talking about it. That's just our thing. Anyway, CIS Hope, they're going to be beginning on the defense here. And looks like Sharrock's going to be coming out on that Reinhardt. He put up a great performance here the other day against Christopher, putting down what was in the intro to Contenders, that wonderful shadow of a 4-man around Christopher's shield. Not going to be living that one down for a while. It was a biggie. Yep.
They will be on the defense as well, so Sharrock will be running that one out the gates. I'm fixed on this Sombra as well. So we're kind of looking at we want to play around the health packs. We don't mind really just letting Unfixed do his thing, get to the back line, because we've seen a couple of times, Young and Beautiful, if they get waylaid, Kenzie has a very, very free passage of access to the back line. Ding on the Zenyatta was very vulnerable to those, and even when Kenzie had the armor, was able to take out Dempsey as well. So just getting those 1v1s onto Ding or 1v1s onto Dempsey is also important, especially when you move past that gate. It's incredibly hard for your healers to actually get on top of you if you're waylaid in another part of the map.
With Unfixed on this Sombra, I'm surprised we aren't seeing main on the Ana. He could hang out around the back left with that hacked health pack, have quite a bit of self-sustain, but of course, Moira will also have some self-sustain, staying around the health pack that's on the close left here, and Sharrock's going to be playing around the door, having a lot of healing from main, and Eng's going to be at his beck and call to speed boost him into the midst of Young and Beautiful as they come in. Ben Best is also going to be showing us the Reinhardt, so it's going to be similar tank lines coming out from both of these. Dempsey may decide to go back and swap out this Hanzo. Shadow, he's a little bit trepidatious, doesn't want to go in just yet, he's staying behind Ben Best.
Yeah, they're going to be able to peek around the door now. Now, look how far they're playing back as well. So Main can get the big AoE cone that is healing off onto everybody around there, and he can bounce that orb as well backwards. Shadow going extremely low, gets chased out by Chow. Chow does zip back in though, not too much of an issue, but Shadow is going to be hard contested on there. It's going to be pretty easy for him to kind of sit and free farm, although now he's just jumped up into the air and it'll be Sharrock actually backing off for the time being, although he's going extremely aggressive. In fact, one swing too many. Kenzie does trade up Ding, once again just finds his way into the back line and cleans up the support. Unfixed stays down Shadow after a hack, but they are on the point. They're going to require a tick, although Kenzie is now there to defend.
And the main kill there was Ding, managing to get rid of it. Oh, see you, Ben Best. But Ben Best is also going huge before he died, taking out 2, and already a tick has been accrued for Young and Beautiful.
Yeah, not only a tick, but a couple, and the last one as well. They're going to be able to just secure the point straight up. Sharrock playing that a little bit over-aggressive, and Ben Best took advantage of that. The wraparound as well, coming out from Emil. There was no shield that could really save him. The healing wasn't there either.
Speaking of no shields to save people, Ben Best is going to be coming in with an Earth Shadow Jaws, and Sharrock, he's moved over to the Winston. He's got to be a lot more judicious with where he puts his shield, because he's going to have to use it potentially to block this. However, not always the greatest targets for an Earth Shadow currently on CIS Open. Here comes an EMP, potentially. Unfixed has it at the ready.
Unfixed, he's looking for it. Boom, that's a big EMP. Shadow is going to follow them up as well, and Sharrock's on the back line. Shadow had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, can't wall climb, can't dash, can't deflect. You're pretty much all said and done at that point. Sharrock's going extremely low though, he's going to have to be careful. Although, they should just be able to find this big stagger here as well. And, well, realistically, they blew that one ultimate, but they got a couple coming online soon. But look at the wealth that Young Beautiful have. 6 online.
Little micro plays there. You saw Sharrock avoid picking up the big health back when he was on low health. Wasn't desperate, wants to go back, make sure that Eng and Main could get their ult charge off of healing him instead. And for that, now Main almost ready with that Transcendence. And Eng is 60% sitting pretty as he looks to build up towards that nano boost. Likely going to be going onto Sharrock. Kenzie's almost already got the Pulse Bomb as well. He can put that onto Ben Best if he gets afflicted with a Discord Orb, and it'll be a one-shot.
Fantastic discipline from Young and Beautiful to start off with, slowly making their way forward. Eng's already used the Sleep Dart, and he actually gets Shatter. He whips it around 180 degrees and finds it. Can't open up the base just yet. Transcendence onto the point after that Shatter did land on the ground. Shatter ends up getting taken out by Eng and Ding. Oh no, Main, sorry. Chow follows up Ding in the end. Emil going extremely low, still affected with the hack. They can see he's got the ultimate. They're going to be chased way out of town. He ends up just resetting himself. Sharrock finds himself a 2-piece, one of them being himself.
Sharrock falling off the edge there, not ideal. He could have used his lost health there to give Main some ultimate charge, as we discussed before the last fight, but, you know, sometimes you just want to go and make sure that the Reinhardt's dead at the bottom of that pit. He's just checking, Jaws, he's just checking. But now, They should check the ultimate charge of Young and Beautiful. Unfixed is yet to get to the EMP. He's got about 20%. There's a short window here for Young and Beautiful before that EMP comes out where they can make an attack. Shadow can bring out the blade should it be required.
Nate did land in the center. They haven't got that one to work with. Dempsey's going to go on Unfix. Unfix just disappears through the wall using that translocator. Shadow going extremely low. He's got the orb body and activates the Primal Rage. Big Nade actually hits the Diva to start off with, and a lot of damage actually landing onto her. Doesn't mean she'll get demech'd. Emil dodging out of that sleep dart. Self-destruct does nothing but gets the remake. Shadow finds the kill on Unfix as well. This might not be their time. They may just go for a full reset here. They know the spawns are closer for CIS Hope, and that's exactly what they do.
Not a particular fan of that self-destruct, I must admit. And he picked up a health pack when he could have used it to give Ding and Gustav some ult charge. I'm just going to keep harping on this point until people give the supports the ultimates that they need. Speaking of ultimates that are needed, Eng has the nano boost. He can put that onto Sharek. Sharek has just used his Primal Rage. He can get really close to another one by laying down a huge amount of cleave. We'll have to see if it's required in the next fight. Sharek's just poking for now. Down goes the shield from Ben Best, and down goes a Pulsum as well, but no kills are secured.
Nope, Shadow now moving forward with the help of his monkey, Dempsey. Pulse bomb onto main start off with, so already one healer down. In fact, he's going to find Sharek as well. They're going to be able to secure a nice little bit of tick of time onto that point. Self-destruct at the top and a big EMP. Isn't going to quite find Shadow, so now he is free to run around. He finds the kill on Kempsey, even has sound barrier to keep him alive. There was nothing Eng could really do. The nano boost on the Diva keeps her in the fight for the time being, and that Transcendence is going to follow up them as well. 2 ticks acquired for Young and Beautiful. Only that Primal Rage left and available. Shadow finds himself into the back line, and Main does get taken out in the end by that Primal Rage. Self-destruct, lands, clears everybody out for the time being. However, Chow is extremely low, just getting absolutely slaughtered in the front of the fight. The self-destruct comes through, and Chow ends up killing Emil, finally gets something revenge, but CIS Hope, they've got the respawn advantage, and they're going to be able to clean the rest of Young and Beautiful up.
Absolutely, right now it's a reset for Young and Beautiful. They never can't waste any more time. They did get 2 ticks over the course of that fight, so you're going to feel very nice if you can have a similar sort of attack, Jaws. They will be claiming the point in its entirety. However, in the midst of that fight, we have seen some swap-ups from CIS Hope. They are forgoing the Sombra now. Unfixed moving over to the Genji. Main had an emergency swap as well. He's back to the Zenyatta. However, that does mean both of their ultimates have been reset. It's going to be a while until those are available again. Kensey's going to be the only one on the field with the exception of Eng at 51%. He's going to have to... Bye, Kensey.
Oh my goodness. Caught in the side. Let me take you on a journey through time and space. Shadow takes out Kenzie. He's moving forward. Just get... a couple of micro missiles to the front, but a little bit of that defense matrix actually helped him survive that initial engagement. Ben Best has actually scored it with a Discord orb at the time being, and that big deflect on the point just sends Unfixed running. Chow does deny, I believe that was actually a pulse bomb coming through, and that's actually going to be a complete reset once again. Dempsey not quite finding the mark this time around. It's actually going to rebuild that ult up.
I said it would be a while until we saw the Dragon Blade from Unfixed, but I was wrong. He's already 90%, and guess what? Eng's also sitting on a nano boost. Ding is very far from that Transcendence, so I imagine the next fight will be a free wipe for CIS Hope if Unfixed can put the blade in the correct position. Young and Beautiful, they need to be tracking the ultimates. They need to be aware of this. They need to know, okay, we need to make a quick push, maybe just a 5-man push. We don't all need to go in at once. We need to force out this nano blade so that it's not going to be around for our best push, which is the one after this.
Well, Ding's got 50% on that Transcendence, so it's not going to be available for this fight if the blade does get unsheathed. Heng's been found at the back, and Unfix is a little bit worse for wear as they do get jumped on once again. And that nano boost is actually going to go onto the Winston of all people this time around. So staggering at those big ultimates stops the push for the time being. And only a minute remaining here, Legday.
Great disengagement there, but despite not having a Lucia, but here comes Unfix.
There's the blade. Beautiful grenade as well. Straight onto Sharek. Can't receive any healing and just gets torn apart for it. Chow ends up finding the kill, so Unfix doesn't claim credit, but it's still going to be a complete wipe, or close to complete wipe. Young and Beautiful going to go for the reset.
I like Young and Beautiful's attack fail where they're a bit cautious, trying to make sure they were putting a lot of pressure out onto Sharek. But Eng already, he's put down so much healing, he's almost 90% on the nano boost again. They're going to have to worry about that once more. They're not going to have time to run away from Sharek in his very glowy, very angry gorilla form. Sharek also has that Primal Rage as well, so he can go incredibly deep should it be needed. He can make a really he can make a very aggressive play.
They did actually end up listening to in the end. They gave the tanks the healing they need, built the ult up a lot quicker, trying to get high ground to use this tactical visor. Chow going fairly low, but blocking most of that up with the with the right click, although he does end up taking Shadow out regardless. And that's one big DPS threat now down. Make that 2 as Dempsey ends up falling as well. Chow's doing a good job of just solo holding this up in the top side, and Kenzie just forcing out the supports as well. You have to help there. You have to help Ding, and that just forces him back. Self-destruct on the point. He's going to find a D-Mech and going to find the kill on Sharek. Unfix is going to come through and kill Ding. 2 supports now dead. Main comes back in with that Transcendence to keep everybody alive. So overtime is still ticking, but they're 3/4 of the way already there. Unfix finally finds the kill on Emil, and Shadow didn't really stand a chance at the gate. It was so close, but CIS hope they're going to be able to tick this time over, and only 1 point has been secured by Young and Beautiful.
Well, however, there is a win condition here for Young and Beautiful, so they can feel good about that. We're not going back to Nambani, where you're playing with a draw at best. So, 1 point, and 87.6% is the reward for Young and Beautiful's efforts here. And now, well, it's down to CIS hope to match that or better it by 0.1 in order to claim the series draws if they go up 3-0 here. Whew. Not be what Young and Beautiful are looking for.
I'm not sure any team would look for that, I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, they're all looking forward to losses.
Exactly. Yeah. I look forward to the day I lose. No, absolutely not.
It's a learning experience.
It is. It's going to be a big learning experience. And do you know who learns really well? CIS Hope. Their ability to flex and actually rearrange their team composition in a way that suits their every single push, it seems. They switched onto the Sombra. Instantly, Shadow switching off the Genji because he knows as soon as he gets hacked, he's almost useless, going on to the Soldier. And then as soon as Unfix sees him do that, no worries. I'll jump on my own Genji, and then we have the double threat in the Nano on the Winston and my Dragon Blade to pocket as well. This team plays very reactively. They're showing it right here, and this is why they're so dominant in Contenders.
Yeah, some of the power from that reactive roster, as you said, really comes from the variability of the players. Whenever Unfixed is a fantastic Xayah from his time back on Re and E United in the early eons of EU comp. Playing that to some great effect alongside various tanks, including Winghaven and Sharek in the past. And Kenzie, even when he goes on a Roadhog, which many wouldn't consider as main, something close to 100% hook accuracy, scary. I know Tridd had some choice words, but I will not repeat them here because I'm a good boy.
He's a scary dude.
Who, Tridd?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so. When he's angry, it can be pretty scary. Yeah. Kenzie's a scary looking dude, I'll tell you that. Those hooks are going to be bound for your DPS or your supports, and they'll get one shot. Although, do you know who's good at one-shotting as well? Junkrat, when he gets his hands on you as well. So Shadow's actually going to be picking that one up defense. We're going to have Dempsey on Xayah, so roughly similar compositions. I mean, realistically, CIS Hope are going to have to push forward through Sharek's Shadow's unrelenting bomb assault. They're actually going to spot out the trap pretty early on as well, so that's pretty nice of them. But forcing their way onto the point with their massive health bars is exactly what they're looking to do.
I want to see some disciplined formations here so you can make the most of the tight Kona feeling which main can provide, and Ding on the other side as well. If you start to spread out, you're not getting as much value out of that Moira. You can see everyone trying to clump together, and already Emil has lost the mech.
It's pretty bad considering Unfix has got 100% charge. Uh-oh, you're all grouped up. Where's the tire coming from? It's over the gate, through the gates. It gets destroyed at the end. Unfix with a perfect tracking. Coalescence opened up by main as well, just a chunk through the front line. And look at that charge at Unfix. Something about that noise. Something about that noise, Legday. Just does it for me. Main takes out Ding in the end, and that'll be CIS Hope making the way onto the point. Extremely easy push, just slow, conservative. They knew what they had to do. Shadow didn't really stand a chance against Xiao and Kenzie. They clean it up, and that is a very healthy looking time back.
Absolutely, that noise does it for you, and it does it for Emil as well. Just carving his initials there, probably carving his name into the Diva mech with that very high-powered beam, and his reward for doing so will be a Graviton Surge. Now Emil, he needs to be on his toes, Jaws. He needs to have his finger on that defense matrix. He's been very good at eating these ultimates thus far. The question is, when it comes down to it, the biggest ultimate in the game, potentially in Graviton Surge, can he make it happen?
A defensive coalescence this time around, but to answer, there's a sound barrier. They're still on the sides. They still need to make this work. Chow moving on to Dempsey. Dempsey's already going to go down. Unfix looking for that grab. He finds it as well. That was Emil on the floor from the shatter. Huge play coming out from Sharek. This Rhine and Bonanza coming through as he just destroys everybody in his wake. There's nothing a deflect can do against that high charge Xayah. They're still going to find one tick. It's Young and Beautiful time. They need to be able to stay alive. Dempsey's back onto the point. He was the first one to go down, remember, and it's the next one to go down as well. The Sombra ends up going to go for the respawn here, but they've already found the second. Emil just gets booped out of the point. Chow finds the D-Mech as well. Everybody's running onto it, but there's nothing they can seemingly do. Gustav, one Anna versus the world versus triple tank. It's also horrible. Another Graviton Surge will come through, but Chow just eats it all up. Thank you very much. Dempsey sit on the ground. A shatter to finish it all off, and CIS Hope claim the third map and the series.
Oh, it was an all-you-could-eat buffet there for the big pig of Kenzie, just hooking one hero after another. And that was a great combination of ultimates. We talked about Emil, can he eat the Graviton Surge? That was a key to victory there for Young and Beautiful. Unfortunately, he was put on the floor. You don't really have a defense measure. You can't eat the Earth Shredder. And once he was down, it was open season there for Unfixed on the Zarya.
Man, it's just slow, timed ultimates, just pacing them out one after the other. They're just so, they're like an well-oiled machine. I know we've used that phrase a lot about CIS Hope, but that's exactly what they are. There's no way, they're seemingly unstoppable right now in their terms of their coordination as well.
Yeah, they are incredibly unstoppable, very well researched in terms of how they're going to play against these teams, and just coming to bear how formidable they are.
Yeah, it looks like they're Beautiful need maybe a couple more days to warm up. They do have some fight left in them. We're going to jump to a quick break. We'll be back after these. Hey guys, welcome back. Game number 4 coming up on your screens very, very shortly. We just saw CIS Hope take a rather sizable lead in that series. Sizable lead in the series, sizable game in Hanamura. God, my intros at the moment are wavering a little bit, but hey, CIS Hope, their coordination, not only their ultimates, but their ability to switch up into various compositions is just seemingly unmatched at the moment. Young and Beautiful kind of fell flat on the last point.
Yeah, they fortified their position as one of the greatest teams in this group. And looks like we're going to be heading to a little bit of a surprise, Jaws. We're going to Junkertown. And I'm surprised that Young and Beautiful are going here. I thought maybe they would try and go for more of a classic dive. Didn't work out so well on Mbani, but Dorado was less open to the sort of shenanigans you can get from Aang and his Torbjorn, but Junkertown, ooh, I'm expecting to see some Widow here, expecting to see some Junkrat, maybe a lot of tanks, and you can really play quadruple and triple tank to great effect here on Junkertown. I'm surprised they'd go to it against CIS Hope, who have been just so dominant on those sort of competitions.
So dominant and so flexible as well, exactly. Yeah. Although you can run the Torbjorn attack, just saying, you can put it on the cart, you make a little pirate ship, you've got to make sure he's the best pirate you've ever seen. Well, apart from if the target's killed, but regardless of that.
Like Shadow 2 beeps, you think he's going to bring out a Bastion?
Oh, I hope so. That'd actually be sick.
Usually you put the flex support onto there.
I know we've seen Craggy a lot on Bastion.
You can have Ding Bastion.
Ding Bastion? Okay,
that's a good name for a Bastion.
Ding Bastion? Yeah, ding. Doesn't make any ding noises, though, unless he's, like, falling apart, right?
I'll put the voice line in soon.
Junkertown will be the map, though. What are we expecting to see on the attack? I can imagine CIS Hope are going to go on the defense first up. They normally like going on the defense if they get the choice. So realistically, are we going to see that quad or triple tank? Because it has been working out for them more often than not. That Zarya from Kenzie, the Roto from Kenzie is pretty like horrible to deal with, and unfixed on the Zarya as well. That's also a mean trait.
Well, CIS's mindset thus far, of course, has been go on the defense first, see what you're up against. And I think here, if well, given that Young and Beautiful have chosen Junkertown, they're going to be expecting some very specific Junkertown strats like the Bastion. And I think to deal with that, you can bring out a triple tank, sort of speed boost onto the cart, not give them the time to set up there, go out of those buildings where there's very little sight lines from the spawn of the attackers. But it does look like Young and Beautiful are actually going to be starting off on the defense. This is a different approach from CIS. They're mixing it up a little bit, coming out on the offense. I wonder if we will actually see this double sniper composition.
Well, welcome to sunny Australia, where the snipers on attack apparently run 2 of them. Every time that happens to me in comp. Doesn't go well. But I'm sure CIS Hope will prove me wrong and prove everybody else wrong as well.
Well, we know Kenzie is a good sniper. I don't know about your solo queue buddies, Jaws.
Hey, what are you saying? I'm the Widow normally. I don't know very good on the Widow, you see.
You are the problem.
Yeah, maybe I am. You aren't wrong. Well, let's have a look at the defense here from Young and Beautiful, because they're already out of the gate. We've got Emil actually on the Roadhog this time around, and Ben Best on this Orisa. They're going to have that Junkrat to back them up on the for the damage front, and even Dempsey going over to the Sombra here. So that really does scream to me, obviously, just hunker down, just make sure you play around these health packs. And Emil, if he can match the hooks that, match the hooks that Kenzie did, it will be quite a tough time, especially for this double sniper. But the problem is with that double sniper, it's very, very hard to actually pin anybody down behind that shield.
I'd love to see Dempsey hack the pack that's currently under Ben Best and have Emil sort of play out of that house. Because if you're in there, you've got your Take a Breather, which gives you 300 healing and 50% damage reduction, and you've got that health pack respawning every 4 seconds, giving you 250 HP. You'll be absolutely a pain in the bottom to dislodge. However, CIS Hope are coming out on the right-hand side. Kenzie's got his eyes on a couple of tanks, but he's not going to be taking anyone out just yet. The shield's going to be slowing him down.
Already dinged a headshot, and Unfix gets dinged as well. So does Main, apparently. He got double dinged. He finds Shatter in the end. That payload is still moving, though. It's very rare you'll see a contestant up at this point. Aang gets dragged straight back in. The hook wasn't quite in time. He didn't even need it, because Dempsey was already there, pummeling with bullets.
Shadow has been returned to the field by the resurrection of Gustav. However, Ding is down as well. We may see him try and swap up here to something like a Moira or Lucio to come back a little bit more quickly. But no, he's going to make the commute as our big favourite floating Omnic Monk. Down goes the shield. Ben Best's going to have to replace that, but you can't replace it if you're dead, courtesy of Chow.
Gustav's dead. They just made an entire flank around the backside. There was nothing they could do about it. Emil goes down, Shadow, Dempsey, the whole lot. It's basically a team kill. They just didn't check their flanks at all. The Shadow got taken out almost first up, and, well, no, sorry, last, because he wasn't able to protect his supports.
I like that Ben Bester swaps over to the Winston here. You're not going to be able to keep that shield up for long against a quadruple DPS. Main and Kenzie can bring it down very quickly, as can Unfixed and Chow. So much damage coming in, and Ben Bester's already been the recipient of it, and now they're the infra sites. Chow is ready. He knows exactly where to put this pulsar on. The question is, will he bring it out already?
Look at that retreat. You see just red marks going back. Beautiful stick on Shadow. Tried to get the reflect up. I thought he had it, but Chow
bamboozled.
Got bamboozled. No, Shadow got bamboozled.
Should have had bamboozle insurance.
Ugh.
Should stop saying this word. I don't know, maybe. I think you can like compare it across some websites.
Overwatchcomparison.com or something. Comparing different types of insurance.
Compare the bamboozles.
Ooh, uh-oh. Yep, ding. Just hanging out in the bar. No time for a drink, buddy. Chow's going to pay you one.
Oh, Main's got no time to hang around either, because Sharik is all over him, or rather Shadow is, but Gustav's taken down in the back courtesy of Chow. Dempsey struck back.
Unfix is going to be able to take out Ben Best as well. Unfix has even got that EMP available. Nice little hack onto the mech of Emil, and he ends up falling, and Chow ends up cleaning up the rest of the fight as well.
What a nice ragdoll.
I know. Just get flung over the sign. Oh, so yeah, so they're making it a little bit fun for themselves, I think, at this point.
Up-and-coming sport in the summer games for Orisa.
Slinging
flinging. But Main, he's ready to lock down the entrances should it be required. He's got the Dragon Strike and he's got a damage boost at his back, courtesy of Eng. Eng staying out of harm's way. They need to identify the only healer, but there's the Dragon Strike.
Oh, double Dragons ends up taking out Ding. Shadow gets his revenge, although man advantage right now for CIS Hope. And look at where Chow is sitting, getting free fire. Big EMP takes out Ben Best. That pulse bomb wasn't even needed. And now it's just Shadow all alone on the cart. Made that a 15 kill streak for Chow. They end up getting it to the second point. 5 minutes and 10 seconds available to them as well. That's a really early hack from Unfix too. Young and Beautiful's defense in tatters.
So we talked about CIS Hope, Jules, being a very variable team. They can do triple tank really well. They can do quad tank really well. They can do 2-2-2 really well. They can do Torbjorn rather well. And you know what else they can do well?
Quad DPS.
Quad DPS is what they can do well. Now Unfix looking to open this up once again. But in comes the Dragon Blade.
Shadow want to get that Dragon Blade up, but he's having to deal with that Bongo as well. He ends up getting made, but the problem is the door's shut. What? Oh dear. Just locked out completely. It doesn't really matter. Young and Beautiful is still going to be able to clean this one up, even through the supercharger. That was sad. Imagine you got caught in the door. I'm not sure if it actually does damage to you. I've never actually seen it happen.
It does not do damage to you. I've seen a Zenyatta trans get caught on the wrong side of a door back in the Overwatch team story, and that was a very heartbreaking moment.
Sad. Feels pretty sad.
Anyway, Shadow and Shark, they're going in deep, but Shadow's already down. However, Ben Best is looking to pick up the slack. He's got his eyes on so many players. He's slapping through them, but now he's going up against a lot of small
damage he's taking. He's still got that Discord orb on him. Ben Best just gets pummeled. But the problem is, it was enough of a distraction, at least for the time being, for the rest of CIS Hope just to abandon their supports. They end up getting taken out. Kenzie's actually on the back line here, trying to dodge out of the way of that orb. Remember, that health pack is still actually hacked, so it's pretty hard for anybody from Young and Beautiful to actually pick that one up.
Identified one of the best ways to shut up a quad DPS, and that was to not give them any space. But now space is going to be bought by Hook or by Crook because Unfixed coming in with the MP. Out go the lights.
They dropped the beat, but they dropped the beat in the bubble. Emil and Ben Best didn't get covered by it. They're going to be so squishy in this fight. Unfixed ends up going down first. Shadow dashes through Kemsey. Main picks up Dempsey in the end, but they're still fighting on the point, making sure it doesn't actually move. Xiao, he's trying to just wait for something, or at least wait for his supports to actually get back to him so he can matrix them away. Absolutely massive stall on the sound barrier there caused the rest of Young and Beautiful to just fall away.
Enough messing around. Main and Kenzie moving back to their mains. Haha. Young and Beautiful, they're going to be sitting pretty. They've got a Dragon Blade. There is no Transcendence to answer it for now. Main 5% away, but no, the window's been shut. The door has been closed. They're going to need to force that out if they want a good Dragon Blade.
Don't get caught on the door again. Shadowy's going extremely low. He's being focused right now. He's so close to going down. A good whack in the air. Chow ends up taking him through. Big play from Chow. Takes out the mech and Ben Best also in that tight corridor. Those micro missiles do so much damage. Ding and Kemsey having a little 1v1. Kemsey going extremely low, but Ding's going to get chased up after that Wraith form. He hasn't got any other methods of escape. Car's still moving around. 2 minutes 30 on the clock.
Good ultimates to shut this one out. Kenzie can throw a pulse bomb into the midst of Young and Beautiful, all cut together at the moment. They're going to be trying to stay together in this Transcendence. Shadow needs to try and force that one out.
Nice bubble in the front line. Shadow still goes in. Eng is then going to go down first. Zhao's on the back line. He's going to go deep and out to that health pack, but the rest of his team are just going to lay by the wayside. Didn't really want to throw the self-destruct. There is a big DC, actually.
We are missing Kenzie, who lost his pulse bomb during that, and it's not something we often want to talk about, but it did happen yesterday as well, but it was main. CIS Hope not having the most reliable internet, even if their skill on the game is incredibly reliable. So now they're going to be down with Pulse Bomb. That's one less tool in the box to take one of the hardest points in the entire game of Overwatch.
Yeah, they've got 2 minutes-ish left on the clock. They've got a couple of ults left, but that Pulse Bomb was pretty big. Like you mentioned, everybody wants to sit in that corner, wait for that Transcendence, and then they can kind of push out, get all nice and healed up. But the problem is, if you chuck a Pulse Bomb in there, you got faced with 2 options. You either scatter for the 4 wins, or you pop the Transcendence and just hope the rest of the team can survive.
Yeah, we've seen Transcendences popped to try and save people from the Pulse Bomb, because of course, Zenyatta is invulnerable, everyone else isn't. They do take damage, but 300 HPS comes out of that Transcendence, and 400 damage in one hit from Pulse Bomb will move through that if you have less than 400 health. Tanks can survive it, however, if you stick it onto one of the more large targets, but the tanks are often moving into people. Unfortunately, we saw Hafiko take out Funny Astro on Ilios, which I'll always remember, with a pulse bomb just driving straight into him. Fantastic.
Well, what I actually noticed in Korean Contenders specifically is a lot of these tracers are actually chucking them on the floor, because everybody knows that as soon as you've got the pulse bomb on you, just dash away, just get away at any means possible away from your team so it doesn't pick up an extra kill. If you throw it on the floor, it's not stuck to anybody, so it's a little bit harder to actually see where it is. You get that giant red exclamation mark in the triangle, but realistically, sometimes that can be a bit less obvious where that actually is, and a bit less obvious like in terms of the range. So it can lead to some disaster really in your backline if you don't actually get out of the way in time.
A couple of tactical misses with those pulse bombs, or at least that's what I call them when I'm playing solo queue. But let's think Unfixed. He can come in with the EMP. He needs to make sure he's trying to pressure out the support, so that the support's going to be very cautious about using their ultimates when faced with an EMP, because of course it can strip away the sound barrier. 500 HP of overshields go to 0 in just a moment when faced with that ultimate, and of course you can eliminate a Zenyatta in short order. 150 of his HP, his shields leaves him with just 50, and Sombra can quickly finish that off.
Yeah,
my words just went.
It's okay. We're out of the game, that's why. We haven't got that tempo to keep us alive. But We should be getting to game very, very shortly, although unfortunately DCs do happen. It's just the nature of playing games online, realistically. Sometimes your internet does cut out at unfortunate times. Did lose the pulse bomb, but like you mentioned, that EMP is going to be quite critical. They've had that health pack as well hacked underneath for the longest time. Like, it hasn't been unhacked. So the defensive team, the issue with that is you can't really play around that small joke, because if the tanks push in, they have so much healing at their disposal, they are forced to then take a different route. And we are back in the game. Kenzie finally reconnecting.
There we are. Kenzie having to rebuild that pulse bomb, of course, but he does have 2 support ultimates to babysit him as he does so, and Unfixed has hit the EMP. Gustav, he's a little bit further away from that sound barrier. Maybe the EMP comes out first, but they don't have many fights to play with. Look at how close that payload is to the finish already. Chow and Sharek, they know they want to go. They're going through.
Transcendence already popped by CIS Hope. Main popping that one fairly early, and Shadow still has that blade. Speaking of blades, he goes straight in, but he gets instantly hacked. He can't slice anybody because he hasn't got any dashes. He tries to find the Zen. He ends up getting it, but at what cost? Gustav and him have already fallen. He manages to trade one, but Chow is just making mincemeat of the back line. Ding falls, and Ben Best is going to follow him. Even Emil got desuited during that time as well. No defense matrix, no issues for the side of CIS Hope. They're so close to delivering it 2 meters away. It's all about stalling. Big pulse bomb, but it's not going to be enough. Gustav can't get onto the point in time. Ends up falling to Kempsey. That's a 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the time bank for CIS Hope.
That's a great hack from Unfixed. He made sure that the options were limited for Gustav. He couldn't wall ride in. He was having trouble with the speed. His songs had been turned off. He'd suffered a noise complaint and was shut down. That meant he couldn't get in there and contest. And Eng was just sitting pretty on the cart, having a little bit of a dance, letting out the healing aura, so everyone was feeling nice and healthy. And eventually just drove it home. 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock here for CIS Hope. Young and Beautiful, they need a full completion if they want to stay in this series. Well, so, if they want the pride of this series.
Yeah,
they can't stay in the series because they've already lost, unfortunately.
Yeah, 3-0 is the scoreline, as you can see on the top. Brilliant, that. Wonderful what UI can do for you.
Jaws, teaching everyone to read in 2018. This is an educational stream, ladies
You
and
would teach
gentlemen.
people how to do maths. I would teach people how to read. Now, Young and Beautiful still want to win this map. There's still a map point. We mentioned on the desk a little bit earlier, all the top 3 teams in this group right now aren't playing each other today. So that 4th spot is the one up for grabs. If Young and Beautiful secure this game, they're just an inch closer to making sure they can make it to that top 8.
Yeah, their main competitor for that spot will be Bazooka Puppies, who you'll see coming up next. And if Bazooka Puppies are going to start losing maps, then the map score is going to come in... well, it's going to come in the clutch for Young and Beautiful. There's no other way to say it, I guess. Well, there probably is. Probably a better way, but I'll choose that one. Now, Young and Beautiful, they're going to be coming out on the offense. Shadow 2K, once again, picking up the Junkrat. I want to see Gustav stay on this Mercy to damage boost both Dempsey and Shadow, because damage boosted Dempsey will be incredibly effective at shutting down Chow, who's, guess what? They've put him on DPS again. Unfixed is going to be moving over to the Roadhog. Perhaps he is, well, I suppose if they want Kempsey on the Widowmaker, then you can put Unfixed on the Roadhog, but ideally you want Kempsey on both.
Yeah, what, both areas at the same time?
Ben Best is already so low.
How healthy was he? He was supposed to sub 100 HP?
390 damage from a damage boosted Widowmaker headshot.
So 10 HP?
15 because he had armor.
Oh. All right.
That's it. That's
there you go.
science
There's the math lesson coming in. I told you, we teach everything.
Yeah, we are educational.
Overwatch, English, maths. We've got everything in the stream.
Oh, but Dempsey's teaching Kenzie a thing or two. A little bit of a res coming through. Risky moves there from Aang, but manages to keep himself safe. And Young and Beautiful are pressing forward with a payload. Ben Best needs to replace this shield quickly, though.
Dempsey actually killed Kenzie again, so they haven't got that Widowmaker to kind of fall back on now. It's all up to Chow to try and focus the back line. He gets discorded, can't quite find the tracking onto the Mercy as she glides oh so gracefully towards the earth. Although, that's not what you want to be. You just get pummeled by Main, and Chow's going to be able to finish him off. Gustav fairly alone in the back line now. Is damage boosting that Zenyatta. Although, Chow just have to go for the sharp recall. They're going to be able to hold it for the time being. They don't want to move forward without their Widow.
Dempsey has respawned, however. Everyone needs to be very mindful of their positioning. That shield isn't going to be going down for a while, and Chow's happy to stay. Oh, there is the hook.
Big hook on
through.
Emil. He gets taken out by Main. Instantly discorded as soon as that shield went down. That's a big pulse bomb as well, straight from up above. Does land on Gustav, but Shatter's tight. He's going to be pretty big too. Kenzie gets taken out, but realistically, CIS Hope, they haven't got the spawn advantage, but they got the man advantage. Even the Combat Mercy coming in for a cheeky kill.
And the Valkyrie advantage is in the favour of Young and Beautiful as we come through. Kenzie's going to have respawned. He's going to come back, got a bit of a commute before he can find the shot. But shutting down Gustav will be priority number one. Dempsey almost has that all-important infra site, and that's going to mean that Emil's going to be able to hit those hooks with a little bit more ease, aided by the wall hacks, and there it is.
He's going to be able to spawn him, but look, Kenzie, you know he's exactly where he is on this corner. Even Chow paying him a small visit. Oh. That's very painful. That's 3-0, by the way. If you're paying attention, doesn't quite find the Mercy. 75% of speed reduction, apparently not enough. Dempsey doesn't manage to find the head in the end. A Transcendence does come through for Young and Beautiful, keeping them all alive in this push. But CIS Hope respond with their own. But as soon as he pops out of that, Shatter takes his life away. Dempsey erasing Kempsey as well, making it 4-0. Now Sharek, Unfixed, they're on the car, but not for long.
And there would have really gone a lot quicker if Dempsey had... oh, that was a wonderful Junkrat voice line we just heard there. I love it. But Dempsey should have hit that Mercy, but he didn't. However, he's going to feel pretty confident going into this. Kenzie has been forced to swap over to the Tracer. It's not often we see Kenzie get outclassed with it, but here worked out not in his favor. Unfixed moving back over to the Sombra. He's going to hack that big health pack, currently sitting underneath Sharek and Main there. So we're going to see CIS Hope having that as their base of operations, from which they have a lot of healing, very good sustain.
Yeah, Unfixed being very aggressive. Kempsey's looking to pick anybody off. Then Bess and Shadow jumping on Unfixed, but he does manage to translocate away. And in fact, the rest of his tanks are going to be able to just sandwich them in. Chow just forcing the D.Va out of mech, and even a 1v1. Emil, even though he had Discord orb on him, he still managed to win it out. Main and Kenzie aim. They're going to clean up the fight. They're way too quick. And with the D.Va out of mech, there's no chunky health bar to deal with. Gustav gets chased right out of base, and even Dempsey does get one clipped by Kenzie.
Now, Tridd calls them trash compactors, but for that one, I want to call it a Colosseum, because people run high from all sides, raining all of the fire down upon Young and Beautiful. We didn't really know where to turn. They were shut down pretty quickly there. And now Ding is just going to be charging up these shots. Maybe he can get some lucky ones off, but they're moving into a mountain here already. Ben Best taken low by the pulse bomb.
Pulse bomb onto Ben Best, like you mentioned. Emil now moving towards that cart, needs to get some time. They're huddling around that health pack, but remember, it has been hacked by Unfixed. He's 80% of that EMP as well. Kenzie moving forward, trying to take out Ding. Isn't quite going to be able to get him. He does get dinged fairly hard himself. Dempsey finds Chow in his mini D.Va form and does manage to take out Shatter in the meantime. Here comes the dive. CIS Hope so coordinated in where they want to push themselves. Kenzie funneling the supports into that tight corridor, and Sharek was there to punish.
So the story for next fight, it is going to be Unfixed up against Ding. The EMP is ready. It can remove Ding from the map in a heartbeat. It can strip away his shield to give him only 50 HP, which can be quickly demolished. But it can also disable the Transcendence. However, should the EMP come out and Ding avoid it, Ding will be able to come in with the Transcendence, potentially save his team, but he won't be able to save Dempsey, who's been taken out by his counterpart.
All right, Dempsey's already dead. A little bit too over-aggressive on the sidelines. Kempsey looking to build up this pulse bomb now. He knows that health pack is around on the side. Big Transcendence actually hit around the corner, so they're going to be able to survive it for the time being if they don't take any big burst damage. Kempsey looking for that stick. Does find it on the D.Va mech. She is going to get out of it too. Didn't quite pick up the health pack. I don't think it was actually respawned. And then finds the kill onto Emil in the end, pushing him back into the corner. Ding, he's going to take out Sharek. One for his own, but a late Transcendence there was all they needed. Straight Shatter 2K, jumps straight in with the blade and was completely almost denied. Does manage to take out one, is completely hacked, gets jumped on by Chow, but the rest of his tanks and healers are there to back him up.
Someone needs to take out Main and someone needs to take out Eng, but luckily the people who do it are going to be Young and Beautiful. Dempsey's going to be sitting pretty with a pulse bomb going in deep and taking out Main. Now, CIS, they can come in with a re-engage. They have the sound barrier to do it, and there's not much to shut it down on the side of Young and Beautiful. Emil with a self-destruct that can do a whole lot of damage. It can chunk through the barrier should it be placed in the right position. But CIS, they're going to have the speed of Eng as well, and that's going to make it incredibly difficult to hit an effective self-destruct already, though. Dempsey's going in deep.
Oh, the 1-2 Buckaroo does manage to take out Main in the end. Dempsey is going to be able to push forward now without that healing coming out from Main. They're going to find it extremely hard. Oh, right in the back as well. Chow, wrong place to be, buddy. even the Lucio. Nowhere to hide, I'm sorry. They do manage to cap it. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. Now I'm going to beat the time bank here of CIS Hope, but they still have a chance to get that third cap.
2 minutes on the clock and almost one ultimate ready to go. Yet again, Ding has earned himself a Transcendence, hitting so many of those orbs. We've complimented him on his accuracy before, especially against these tanks. Very good at shutting them down. However, Unfixed is going to end his life in short order if he can hit him with this EMP. And that's a very deep dive from Young and Beautiful, and there's the EMP, but no! It was cancelled as he was using it. Dempsey picks him up.
Oh, right in midair. Kempsey finds the D-Mech onto Emil as well. That was absolutely gorgeous. He's going to be able to get onto that car, although for the time being, he's going to have to back off. He was discorded. You don't want to take a couple more Zen orbs, they will instantly kill you. They're still pushing around this corner. Unfixed instantly switches here, goes straight onto the soldier. Chow moving over to the Arista Nova, was just getting a remech on to the Diva. He has forgone whatever ultimate charge he had, but Sharik's going to be there to pick up the slack. He's got the Primal Rage. Both of these gorillas are feeling incredibly angry. Ding's under pressure in the back. Can they force a Transcendence? There it is. Forced at the back, and Dempsey pummeling them straight into spawn, throws a pulse bomb after them so they can't actually escape in time. Chow's going to be able to touch the cart in the meantime, though. Shadow gets taken out by Kempsey. Dempsey still running around the cart like a madman. Emil and Dempsey doing a lot of work to the tank line. They do manage to de-suit and kill off Chow, and it's all Dempsey right now as he's just raining free fire down, although Unfixed sitting in that healing field just gets knocked straight away from it, and that'll be all said and done for that fight for the time being. Self-destruct comes out, but Dempsey's got that pulse bomb ready. Even Sharik falling. This is looking oh so good for Young and Beautiful. There was time there to disengage, but they've went all in, and now Main's gone all in too. In goes a Transcendence as well. But the problem is Shadow's still got that blade. There's a perfect opening for him now. Kenzie takes out Gustav too. A long-range pulse bomb doesn't quite kill anybody, but it's still going to give a lot of room. He ends up getting taken out, and in fact, Young and Beautiful, Chow just jumped straight on and just de-suited and killed Emil instantaneously. Shadow had the ultimate available as well. 10 seconds remain, and they need to be able to spawn and touch. He's not going to be back in time. Young and Beautiful, it's on them to make the time for Shadow to get back. Eng has the sound barrier. Should it be required? And Unfixed is moving oh so close towards that tactical visor. Everyone's going to be in his sights. A target-rich environment. Change straight onto the Sombra. Is going to find his way onto the cart to force that overtime through. Shadow needs to activate his blade now. This is now or never. Kenzie gets fired up by Dempsey, but he just finds the recall straight into the sound barrier as well. This is the target-rich environment we're talking about. Apparently, it doesn't matter because Shag's already cleaned up most of the kills. Overtime ticks through. CIS Hope might just hold it here. Shadow ended up popping the blade, but it wasn't enough. CIS Hope end up holding the third point and take the game and the series 4-0. Oh, an impressive performance there from CIS Hope, proving themselves to still be a dominant team, and we can see exactly why they are still at the top of that scoreboard alongside Eagle Gaming. Turns out Young and Beautiful, they had a lot of fight left in them. Old and charred now. Old and charred, yeah. CIS Hope just had a little more gas in the tank. And I got to say, that cancel on the EMP was something to behold, but it just really wasn't enough at the end. I wonder, is there a way to research around CIS Hope when they can bring out so many Who expected quadruple DPS? Absolutely nobody. Even we didn't expect it. You kind of look and you're like, oh, they're probably going to change. I barely even noticed. I just assumed. Quadruple DPS, not only that, it was actually 2 snipers too, and it did work out at the first point. But 2 snipers, 2 flankers. That is Young and Beautiful right now, going 4-0, makes their chances also slim now of actually making that top 8. Absolutely, and they're also going to be vying for the #1 seed on the side of CIS Hope with that 4-0 victory. Though, to break it down, let's head over to our analysts.